Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be reading the Ten of Swords as the obstacle and the Queen of Pentacles as the opportunity card. So let's get started with swords. This is the old school. You got to rotate them. I'm experimenting with the alignment of these old cards. I think there's some interesting trickiness to be figured out there. But anyway, starting with the Waite deck. This is a brutal case of acupuncture. So, Ten of Swords, it's the last suit, or it's the last card of the suit. Um, this is a transformation, to be sure. This person, this person has been tragically transformed, pinned down. I see the swords as being not just representative of ideas. Some people see this and they think this is what happens when you worry about too many things. You think too hard. Too many ideas, they pin you down. I do like to incorporate the color into the interpretation. This would imply that there's a lot more feeling, culture, and moral meaning associated with these swords. They're not very well aligned. They're kind of, some are sticking in, or some of them sticking in deeper, or are they just shorter or longer? So I kind of see this as being destroyed by not just too many ideas, but too many too many ideas that aren't really aligned with each other, and all of those ideas existing within the more abstract realm of morals, values. I don't think this person is getting annihilated because they're too preoccupied with their calculus. Um, Now, I think that while this image appears pretty drastic, like it looks like this person has been, murdered. The way I like to look at this is as like that the individual has been destroyed, the individual has been killed, and I think that this is a warning of what could happen when someone takes on too many too many pointy, dangerous beliefs. And this might have to do more with the fact that there's just too many of them and they don't really work together that well, as opposed to that they're just pointy, dangerous ideas and beliefs, and that enough of them that trying to simultaneously carry and balance a lot of ideas leads to a situation where your individuality, your personality, your being, you as a person gets destroyed, becomes dominated by the sheer weight of all these ideas. Curious whether people looking at this interpret this as a sunset or a sunrise. I think sunset is pretty common. That's kind of how I think I see it because of the line of red on the horizon there. I think sunrise is kind of more cooler and blue, and then sunset has more of the reddish tones. Nonetheless, this dark sky that if you think this is a sunset, this is descending, enveloping the scene, the night that is coming in, this impenetrable blackness symbolizing chaos, just a whole bunch of the simultaneous nothingness and everything that I guess is kind of chaotic. It's got ultimate potential. It could be anything, but it's completely disordered, just volatile. And so I think this card is, the 10, this is the end of a suit. This is transformational. I like to look at the swords as preceding the cups. So from this arises an existence that's more focused on on feelings. This is the overloading of thoughts in a sense. So the warning would be, don't think too hard about stuff. And if you're gonna adopt some ideas that you're passionate about, especially if they're in the more abstract areas of theological beliefs, morals, ideologies, then at least just stick with a manageable amount of them. Now, in the Marseille deck, and I have a theory, this card is meant to be seen this way. I added this whole functionality just so I could flip this sideways. The interesting thing with the swords, what I can't do right now is show you how all the other sword cards fit with this one. They all have these sort of half circle, I guess these are meant to be swords, these bendy things. That's the technical term, by the way, bendy things. But yeah, the cards, when organized horizontally next to each other, form these perfect circles. And I think this is representative of I think it suggests that ideas have this cyclical nature. There's this, it's something that reaches out, swoops across some intellectual terrain, let's say, comes back, goes back around. And in a lot of the other cards, with the Marseille deck, a lot of the meaning for individual cards, I think, can only be derived from seeing how they are contextualized amongst other neighboring cards. So with this one, it's the first one to feature two swords. All of the other ones alternate. The odd and even numbers. The odd numbers feature a sword in the middle. This one has two, and I find myself asking myself, why not just have an equal number of these curved lines on either sides, like all of the other even numbers of the suit have? And I believe that this is symbolizing that at a certain degree, at a certain point of thinking about things, of playing with ideas, of turning, there's motion of rotation, that is after a certain point of turning ideas in your head, you get to a point where you realize that continuing in that direction of thought either means you're going to have to loop back around, that you've essentially gotten to a point where you're either just going to keep looping in the same spot, whatever, say, proposition, assertion you've arrived at, that it can't go any further, or if it goes further, it's going to break free of the entire chain of ideas that you've had so far. And I think it could symbolize the reluctance to allow this to happen. And I think this would be the obstacle in this case. So if I think this is really, I think this is a good way of talking about the sort of true philosophical pursuit. If you're pursuing the truth, you often find yourself getting to this point where you have to decide whether you want to keep making the presumptions that you were making until now, that maybe explain the world in a way that you like, or just thinking of things in a way that you enjoy. You got to choose. Either if you want to keep doing that, you got to start thinking yourself in circles, because the truth isn't pointing in that direction, and you're going to start having to begin perjuring yourself, and it's not where the truth is leading you, or that if you continue, that the truth is going to take you somewhere far away from where you were intentionally trying to follow it. So I think this is one of the big philosopher's dilemmas. Whoops. There we go. But yeah, so this would be potentially, you get to that point, just let go, man. Just keep going. Go find that new thing. And for the opportunity, Queen of Pentacles. This queen is pretty cool. She exists this is a person. I mean, this could literally symbolize an individual, or this could be a reflection of an aspect of your personality. This is a person who is of the suit of Pentacles. This suit represents, this is the resources in the earth, the plants, the fruits, the vegetables, the soil, all these things of tangible, real, earthly value. And this appears to me as a nurturing individual who is fully dedicated and focused on this particular topic. She's holding this pentacle coin, which represents all of that nature and resource and bounty. She's sitting on this throne that's decorated with these images of, I don't know, pears and fruits and stuff like that. So she's wholly invested into this idea of, these resources, this bounty. I think this could represent an individual who is a really patient investor, let's say. Pentacles, coins, money. It could be someone who invests like, has got a 50-year plan of investing in the indexes, just slow and steady, mindful, not playing the quick, get rich quick schemes. This is just a thoughtful, long term, minding your money, being careful, not losing focus on it, being patient. She doesn't look very jacked. She looks calm. I think in a more humble way, this could represent someone who's really into gardening, into growing plants, exhibiting a similar kind of patience and care and thoughtfulness. Interestingly, the Marseille card, it's Ryan de Deniers. My bad French pronunciation. Yeah, the queen here, similar. She's holding the denier. She's holding the pentacle up as opposed to having it on her lap. And she's holding it with one hand, so she's, I think the other hand holding onto the scepter could symbolize something like not losing sight of your responsibilities entirely. She's still a queen. She still has responsibilities. She still occupies an office. But if she's the queen of pentacles, if she's the queen of coins, and if that's the suit that she's supposed to be concerned with, she is certainly focused on it. She's looking right at it. And the shape of it, it looks like a little bullseye or a target. Like it has a center, it has a very distinct red center, there's orange, so it kind of, to me, it comes across like being symbolic of a focal point, almost to a hypnotic degree. So it's someone who's very focused on something. So with the court cards, this could be symbolic of an actual person. Maybe if there's a person that that is like this, maybe this would be a good time to check in with them and see what they're up to. This might be a person that might be able to teach you something about managing money and being focused on it, and maybe could alleviate some of the panic. Man, what was it recently? I was looking at some of the GameStop stock market controversy, and there are people getting into it that just have no experience with it, and they're like they're buying, they're selling, they're buying, they're selling, they're panicking. This is like the hold position kind of attitude, just calm, focused. If this is something that you could find in yourself, this is certainly something that I guess this is implying could be of opportune use at this point. It might be opportune to channel this type of outlook in your affairs today. Slow and steady wins the race. So, not a good day to go see an acupuncturist. If you're if you're entertaining some crazy ideas, well, I guess on the one side, not too many at a time. Too many will overpower you to the point where you'll cease to exist. On the Marseille deck, following an idea far enough with reason can get you to a point where you have to graduate to a whole other way of looking at things. And, well, I don't know why I'm reading this optimistically. Like, don't resist. I could be reading it as, don't go ahead. But I think the 10 card symbolizes all of the 10 cards in the suits. They're kind of like I don't have it here to show you. They're kind of like the world card. It's like most of the tarot is contained between the fool and the world, and they exist outside of the journey that is all the other cards within the deck. And the tens and the aces exist, in my opinion anyway, they kind of exist outside of the evolution, the growth of a personality through all these different stages. So in a lot of ways, this card symbolizes that, it's already this abstract state past the highest point of attainment in this cycle. So in a way, it's just signifying it's like, you're done. You're now moving on to this next place. And I guess I imagine people are more likely to have a hard time letting go of something and moving on than they are to express or to have the opposite, to want to move on to new and exciting things. But tarot cards, here's some ideas for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Bonk the like button, subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all the new content daily. As always, leave a comment below, and I will be picking one name to do a free reading Sunday, which is, I guess, today. So later today, there will be a drawing. Leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Take care.